Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and work on our homework. To access the homework, I'm already in the course assignments. I will choose October 18th, select that folder, and go to my homework folder. Once I click on my homework folder, I check to make sure that this is the correct start date. Yes, it is. So I'll click on the link suggested here for registration, and this link should theoretically take me to the correct page. So when I click on that link, ideally I should be able to come here, and it says there are two options, returning student and new student. If you're new, you go ahead and create an account and you'll go from there. Since I am a returning user, I put my information under returning student. I happen to have two courses right now, so I'll click on the correct course, and once I find that, I will go straight to the assignments and then view the assignment as a student. So I'm clicking to change to student view. Great. What I see right now is what you should see. Now I did go ahead and try the assignment out so that I can see what you guys are having to go through. So I will start with the introductory assignment. Now I'll go over this pretty quick so that you guys can see the way it works. The introductory assignment gives you a chance to see how OWLv2 works. So I start with the first tab. On the first tab, it tells you about, we're eager to get you going, but let's start with some basics. While you're here, please notice that they have a get started guide in the PDF format. When you click on that, it gives you details that I cannot even provide about OWLv2. Please realize that you do have different types of assignments, and all the information about the different types of assignments and their purposes are provided for you right here. Is it long? Yes. Does it have pictures though? Yes. So you can quickly skim through this. You don't have to read all the information, but I've had questions like, how is a mastery assignment different from a non-mastery assignment or an adaptive assignment? And so this tells you what they are. And essentially, when we're going through the mastery assignments and I'm pointing them out to you, I will tell you a brief difference. But if you want to get details, go ahead and consult this PDF, this place right here. Okay, so where it says 0 points is just FYI information for you to go through. Just make sure you skim over this part at least. But the parts where you get points for, make sure you do actually answer those questions to get points. Okay, so I got my points here. I already worked on these, and this showed me, by answering the first question, it showed me that I had the right browser to see the images. Okay, so I'm gonna skip over this part since you guys see what's going on. And essentially, when I'm done, I'll say save and exit. When I'm done for sure, and I want to submit it, I'll say finish assignment. This means that I am done and I am willing to accept the grade. 95.24%, I will take that. I think that's a decent grade. So once you're done with the introductory assignment, then you move to the next assignment, which should be chapter 2. Your first exam is over chapter 2 and chapter 3. So you want to make sure that you complete those assignments before you take the exam. Okay, chapter 2 assignment is an adaptive study plan. The adaptive study plan assignment, it says right here that, of course, you can take it. You can take it a limited amount of times. The reason why you can do that is when you take this assignment, it gives you an initial test. When you complete the test, it will tell you, the test will identify areas where you're lacking some information or areas where you have knowledge gaps. Once you go through those areas, it will actually tell you what sections in the textbook to go and read to fill in those knowledge gaps. Once you're done, you can come back and retake the test or quiz until you get a perfect score. So it is adaptive. That way, if you don't know anything at all, you're supposed to miss all the questions, and then it will suggest the sections you have to study in order to pass the quiz. So it is adaptive in that different students will be required to study different things based on where the knowledge gaps are and where your skill set is. Okay, The next type of question set is EOC. EOC is end of chapter questions. These questions are directly from your textbook, your ebook, and so a random sample of questions are selected and you take these, and essentially it looks here that you have only one submission allowed. This is true, but just to show you what this looks like, I will click on the end of chapter. I'm not taking the actual assignment, I'm just going to kind of walk you through this. For the end of chapter assignment, it shows that you have one submission, but you really have 10 tries. And so it looks like right here, oh, look, we have 15 questions. Each question is worth 1 point. So when you go through here, you will perform your conversion and you put an answer. So I'm going to go ahead and try to put in a wrong answer because I don't really have, I'll put 15 here and I'll put 10 here. And then here I'll put 1 and then 2 and then 4 and 5. Just so you can see what it looks like. Submit the answer. Of course, I know it's going to be very, very wrong. If this is wrong and you want to give it another try, go ahead and try a different version. It's supposed to allow you to try a different version. So, oh, wait. Okay, I think I was a little hasty. There. Okay, look at that. It tells you this is what you were supposed to do. Oh, okay, I didn't know I was supposed to convert. Yes, you were supposed to convert. It shows you all the conversions. Once you see that, you're like, okay, now I know what to do. I want to try a different version. So try a different version. And then voila, you do have your different version. And then you go ahead and give the answer. As you're trying different versions, it will count down. So for each try, for the end of chapter, you pretty much have 10 attempts. If you're not ready to complete all the versions, you can go ahead and save and exit. It says, do you want to save these changes? Sure. Then later on, you say, okay, I changed my mind. I want to come back and retry the assignment. Go back there and resume. When you resume, it allows you to resume the assignment that you left uncompleted. Right here, it still has the count. It still has your answers. So I'm going to deliberately miss this again. 1, 2. It's been a long day at work, a really long day. So I'm just going to deliberately miss this. I really don't feel like working on getting the right answer. So I'll put these numbers here. I'll press submit. Oh, snap. Really? Again? Okay. I press submit the answer again, and then look, it tells me this is how you're supposed to work it out. And I'm like, okay, I will try. I will really try. So I'm going to try yet another version. And this time I have 8 attempts remaining. So if you are not ready to finally submit your answer, go ahead and leave it as is. If you're ready to submit it, you can say, I am finished. Press finish assignment and then it's submitted. Okay. So let's see, we have 15 questions. We have different kinds of questions here. So you're gonna go through each of these questions has got 10 attempts. So you see that? 10 attempts, 10 attempts, 10 attempts. Okay. So it does help for you to kind of peruse through to see what you're working with. Okay, so let's say I want to give up. If I want to give up, I said, you know what, this is not, I'll just press. And they tell you right here with red warning, your assignment is incomplete. This is serious. You have not completed any questions for this assignment. Please complete 15 more questions before submitting your assignment for grading. We're trying to beg you, please go ahead and complete 15 more questions, because once you submit this, there's nothing we can do about this, and it is done. So until you have completed all the assignments, please do not press finish the assignment. Once you're done, press finish the assignment and It will not only save your attempt, but you will receive a grade for it. Okay, so let's go back and look at our assignment list. We looked at what the end of chapter looks like. Let's go ahead and look at chapter 4, adaptive study plan. Okay, so chapter 4 should be about gas laws, like I said before. Adaptive study plan begins with a quiz. So on this one here, they do tell you ahead of time what the objectives are. So you should be able to, when you're done with this section, you should be able to describe the properties of a gas. You should be able to describe the tennis. It says, if I had some objectives that I passed, I could click on this and it will hide all the past objectives. But since I didn't really pass anything, it says, okay, when I click on that, it does tell you what you need to work on. So when you click on this, you can look at the ebook. You might see this open in a different window. Or you can watch the video. Now in the video watching, please realize there is a transcript. This guy is funny. If you have problems reading this, here's a transcript of the video. This is pretty much everything that he's reading. Okay. So at least the video populated. Let's see if we can go back to where we were. The ebook. There it is. Okay, so it's taking a while for it to open, but let me let it open and I'll go ahead and, yeah. So essentially you go through, read the objectives. This is what you're supposed to know. We even have a simulation here. Yeah, great. That way you can alter the volume and see how altering the volume changes. Altering the volume. Okay. Low temperature, high temperature. Great. And then you go ahead and answer the necessary questions. Okay, so I lost my place. I somehow got out of the student view, but I'm back where I'm supposed to be. And so we would just view the adaptive study plan for chapter 4 with the gas laws, and for whatever reason I was having problems opening the ebook. But let's see, we have looked at the introductory assignment, what the adaptive study plan looks like, and those chapters. So the only assignment type we haven't seen is the mastery and then the non-mastery assignment. So we'll go ahead and look at the mastery assignment. I'll pick chapter 6. Okay. So for mastery assignment, once again, I have to view it as a student. So I'll view it as a student. When you click on it, you see start assignment now. Go ahead and click on that. For mastery assignment, you'll be told how many questions you have to complete in order to receive credit. So let me see. I will start with this first assignment. The preparation information is pretty much the background information that you need to have in order to answer the question. So you want to make sure before you do your homework that you study the PowerPoints, either the PowerPoints or the ebook. Do not come into the homework without studying anything. It'll take you longer, unnecessarily longer. But what you want to do is study a section at a time. For example, if you want to go ahead and work on formulas, you want to study formulas in your book, in the ebook. When you're done studying formulas, then come over here and start working on the problems. If you're not getting the questions correct, go back and restudy formulas. Come back and try the questions until you get it right, then you move on. So we're looking at the formula of elements. Gives you some information here. So this information you read should not be all you're studying. This should be a review of what you have covered. And then we go straight to the question. And you're asked to give the formula of all the elements that exist as diatomic molecules under normal conditions. So of course back here they told you what the elements were, and that should be the ones in, is this a peach or orange? I think I've heard of Brinkelhoff. And essentially it's just, the easiest way for me to remember is look at where carbon is. To the right of carbon, you have nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine. Go all the way down, chlorine, bromine, iodine, and then you have hydrogen. These all exist as diatomic molecules, and they gave me the set right here. So, number one, you were right, H, and then subscript, I should know this. Ah, and then 2, okay, and then B, R, 2, and 2, O, 2, F, 2, I, 2, C, L, 2. And then you go ahead and says, give the symbols for all the elements that exist in monatomic gases. That would pretty much be the group 8 elements, right? So that's helium, oops, that's big H, E, neon, xenon, krypton, what else? Argon, oh, radon. I hope the answers have been. Oh, great. You're right there. Okay, so submit answer. This better be right. Yeah, and we got it right. Okay, so once we got it right, you can either continue or save and exit. So let me go ahead and see how many of these. Oh, it says it right here that you need to just complete, you need to just master one. Oh, so I have mastered. But if you want to, you can try this other one. Complete the formula, so that should just be He, boron, B, beryllium, Be, iodine, I, 2, submit answer. Okay, respect. And let's see. So now we have question number 3. They're telling you that once you master it, you get the M for mastery. You can go ahead and move on. If you want to do extra questions, sure, go ahead. But if not, just move on. Okay, once you're done, as usual, just save and exit. You only save and exit when you're not ready to submit. When you're ready to submit, select finish assignment, then they will give you that warning message saying, are you sure you're finished? And if you're sure you're finished, go ahead and submit it. Okay, let's go back and look at Chapter 8. Chapter 8 is non-mastery assignment. Once again, we'll preview it as a student, so you go right here. So this is similar to the mastery, only it's not mastery. So we're pretty much just doing all the questions provided for you. And this one here, we have to just match these. So that goes with that. Submit answer, yeah. Okay. And then once you're done with that, try the next one. Okay. And then you try this last one. Combination, composition, double displacement, single displacement. And you submit your answer. And okay, so I did one set. Okay, so even though it wasn't necessarily a mastery assignment, when we've done all 3, it says mastered. That means you're done with that section. So unlike what we did before, you have to complete all of these to get mastery. After that, you press save and exit. It will ask you, you sure? Yes. Save changes. When you're completely done, ready to submit, go ahead and press submit. So I hope this helps you with the different types of assignments. As I said, you can go ahead and work on these. Now, with the adaptive study plan, to get credit, you have to get a perfect score. Well, not necessarily a perfect score, but you're scored on your performance on the quiz. So please make sure you study well enough to be able to pass that quiz to get full credit. On the mastery and the non-mastery assignments and inter-chapter assignments, you get credit for answering questions correctly based on the number required. So remember that with mastery, you may have to answer 1 or 2 questions correct, and then it will pretty much tell you how many you have to answer correct. So let's go ahead and move on to study tools. Oh, okay. This is what the gradebook will look like. So for the assignments where you can choose to submit in the end, you have this red exclamation mark kind of reminding you that you haven't really fully submitted your assignment. On this last one here, I did submit my assignment, so there is no red mark. If you haven't submitted it, there'll be a red mark until you submit it. When you're done with the assignment and you don't feel like working on it anymore, just go ahead and submit it. But once you submit it, you can't unsubmit it. I cannot override your submission. Okay? This is what the gradebook looks like. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and move on and go into study tools. Study tools is where you can see adaptive study plans. So the adaptive study plans I assigned to you are the same ones you have here in the adaptive study plan. So if you feel like taking quizzes for all the other chapters, go ahead. You can go ahead and take a quiz for this, take a quiz for this, take a quiz for this. You can actually use this as a review for preparing for the exam. Okay? And that will allow you to be able to take a quiz to see how you were doing. But other than that, I will go back to study tools. Then we have our ebook. This is the ebook, and you have access to this as long as you're enrolled in the course. This electronic book is actually pretty interactive. The video we saw earlier is actually under the Think Well videos. So please note that we do have the videos here. If you want to watch all the videos for all the chapters, feel free to come to the Think Well video section to watch the video. Now the videos here aren't necessarily listed by chapter, they're listed by concepts and topics. I don't necessarily have videos over the chapters, but if you want to go over any particular chapters, for example, chapter 2 talks about properties of matter. Chapter 1, I think, has scientific method. So if you have read it and you really don't feel like reading anymore, or if you just rather watch the video, click on that. Okay, he is very interesting. So let's see what else. So everything you want to see, all the videos and stuff about the concepts that are being covered in class, these are all listed right here. So there is no point in me making a video when there are better quality videos posted right here. And so depending on what you have need of, the videos are right there. And these will all be under Think Well video. Right there. Think Well video. So we have seen that. Okay. Now, we don't cover chapter 1, we go straight to chapter 2. As I said before, the textbook here is interactive. So you can click on this and we should get right to chapter 2. It looks like the end of chapter 2. So I'm going to click on this. Right there is the beginning of chapter 2. Talking about the 3 different states in which matter is described: macroscopic, microscopic, particular level. And here's all the information. And so the book is pretty interactive, like I said. As you're working on your vocabulary, you can go over here, click on this, paraphrase it, complete your vocabulary. So as you're reading through here, you can work on your vocabulary too. There are some videos embedded within but there's videos within the ebook. There are questions within the ebook. I won't click on that one. I'm sure it's going to be loud. And then there's a question here. Okay. You can go ahead and click to answer it. Okay. Yes. So correct. We have this picture here shows both the particular level and the macroscopic level. The macroscopic level or the macro level is the level that you can see with the naked eye. That's this sand grains right here. Particular level is the level of atoms and molecules. That's this level right here. So yes, essentially they're showing you both levels. Okay, that's a quick way to check your knowledge. Next page, right here. So as you're reading through this video, it's a very interactive book. So please, this is better than the PowerPoint I have. The PowerPoint I have is from the publishers, but the PowerPoints tend to be more simplified. This here has more details and is more interactive, and you can answer questions. Okay? Like this one here. Classify the following as chemical or physical changes. Let me see. Is there something else exciting I missed? Oh, different levels. Yeah. Baking bread. Chemical change. Yes. Grinding sugar into powder. This is the physical change. You're changing the size. Let's see. So when you're going through here, you can go ahead and actually work on problems as you're reading your book. You don't have to read every concept, but you have to read the key concepts that are important in the learning objective for that day. Okay, so I have gone over how to read the book or how to utilize the book as a resource. The book is a very important resource in this course. I've had a question from a student before asking me, well, how do I know what's important? How do I know what to remember at the end of the chapter? Well, let's look at this chapter right here, chapter 2. After each chapter, you usually have chapter summaries and then learning goals. Let's see. Okay, there, chapter summary. The chapter summary tells you pretty much, look at that. Most of your vocabulary terms are out here. It tells you the goal. Goal 1, right there. That means you need to walk away knowing this. Goal number 2, right there. You need to walk away from this chapter knowing these goals. Okay? So if there's anything at all you need to know in this chapter, it is stated in the goal. Okay. Then once again, you have more key terms. You want to make sure you know those. The key terms tie into the goal. And of course, you have end of chapter questions, which you can review, use as a review. You have discussion questions, which I haven't assigned those, not for this faster class because it's more complicated, but right there. So you can go ahead and use these as a review. But essentially, you want to make sure when everything is said and done that you have covered all the goals provided for you at the end of the chapter. Try to think of another question that somebody else asked, which is, let's see, there's a dictionary here, or somebody asked for flashcards. Yes, they provide you with flashcards. You can make your own, or you can use the flashcards they provide to review. Next card, flip review. Next card, flip review. Okay, you can shuffle the deck. And then if you want to take your own notes while you're studying, go ahead and do that. You can even actually put your vocabulary assignments here. I don't know if this will allow you to actually type. Oh, you have to sign in. Okay. So you need to have an account, sign in, and then you can go ahead and start typing away. Okay, so I hope that this tour has been useful for you to navigate through Cengage, to navigate through OWLv2. I want to make sure I've covered everything. We talked about the ebook, we talked about the homework and the different types of homework, pretty much the adaptive study plan, the mastery, the non-mastery assignment, and then the end of chapter assignments. So please, if you do have any questions over anything I have not covered here, feel free to email me. I am doing this after a long day at work, but just note that once again, do not attempt your homework before reading the section. And the way to study chemistry, you don't read the whole chapter in one sitting. You want to read a section at a time, like bite size, maybe a section or two. Make sure you understand a section. Take some notes while you're studying that section. When you're done and if you feel comfortable, go ahead and work on the homework problems that tie into that section. That is the way you will know that you're actually learning the information. Okay? So, what I mean by that is, when you're about to do your homework problems in chemistry, please do not go ahead and start the homework without reviewing the sections in your e-textbook or your textbook. For example, you can go ahead and look at representation of matter, models and symbols. Click on that. Study that part, that section. And after you're done studying, you feel like you really know this section. Stop, don't read on. Stop and try all the homework problems that pertain to this section. If you get them all right, it means that you know what you're talking about. And before you read, the section tells you what the goal and what the purpose is. This is our target, to make sure you know what a macroscopic level is, a microscopic level is, a particulate level, and then the last level here is to make sure you know what a model is. Okay? When you're done, you're ready to move on to the next section, which is states of matter. Once again, read through this whole section here. Make sure that you have mastered the information, then attempt your homework. Don't try to read the whole chapter in one sitting. If you do that, you get overwhelmed, and that whole process will not be very useful for you. Okay, I'm going to sign off right now. It's been a long day. I'm ready to go to bed. I need to edit this and post it. Okay, thank you very much. If you have any more questions, please feel free to email me.